Welcome to Cuelist Tutorials. In this tutorial, we're going to learn how to create and modify a project. We're going to start by creating a new project. Remember that you can only create project if you are a paid subscriber to Cuelist. That's a collaborator in Cuelist speak. So if you don't see collaborator up here on the upper left-hand part of your info bar, then you will need to subscribe before you are able to create a new project. Once you are a collaborator, you will see a button right here at the top that says Start New Project. If we press that button, we will have the option to create a new project. You're going to give your project a name. This can be anything you want, and it can be changed later. So we're going to do the play indecent. So we're going to put in the project is indecent. Then we're going to click on File, and we're going to have access to our files. We're going to choose a PDF script. It has to be a PDF, but you can choose any script you want. In this case, we have a PDF of the play Indecent, so we're going to choose that. And finally, you're going to set your role. This should be your role on the show. In this case, we're going to be the stage manager, so I'm putting in SM, but really this can be anything you want. And after you put in all that information, you're going to hit the Create button. It's going to take a minute, and your script is now going to load. You now have a script project begun. You'll see down here you have two options. You can go into project settings, or you can delete the project. Obviously, deleting the project is not a big deal when you're first starting out, but please remember that the project creator is the only person who has the ability to delete the project, and it will delete the project for all of your collaborators. So it's important to use care before choosing to delete the project. It's also important to know that Cuelist does not charge you for storage, and we don't have a cap on the number of projects. So really there's no reason to delete a project just because you finished it. It's fine for it to sit on our servers. Okay, so we're going to go into project settings in a minute, but just one last thing is if you click anywhere in the project, it will take you directly into the project. Okay, now, once you've created the project, you will have the option to go into project settings. That was the button here, project settings. You can also go into it through the menu. So if we go into project settings, we're going to see a couple options. The first is to add a project image, and the second is here to rename our project, and the third is the default cue placement. So this is exactly what you would think. You can just change the name of your project at any time. Uploading a project image is really for your dashboard. All you have to do is hit the upload button. It works similarly to creating your project in the first place. We're going to take a JPEG image. Ideal JPEG image is a square image because that's the format that Cuelist uses. It can be JPEG or other image files as long as it's not larger than a megabyte. And we're going to click open, and we're going to upload that image. Now we have that image on our dashboard. You will see that you also get a switch here that allows you to turn off the project titles. If we go back into the project, you'll see now that our project has an image. If we want to turn off the titles, that would be indecent and the owner and all that information. We can just go back into the project settings, flip the switch, and turn off the project titles. The last thing on the project settings is default cue placement, and that really operates just for you as a user because every user gets their own cue placement. So the default cue placement really makes a determination about where cues are initially going to appear on your script. And that is, are they going to appear on the left side or the right side of the page? My preference is the right side of the page, so I'm going to click the right side of the page as my default, and I'm going to exit out. I'm now ready to begin my project. Okay, now I want to show you one other thing, and that is to be invited to someone else's project. We're going to go over invitations in a later video, but if you do receive an invitation, you will receive an email notification that you have been invited to a project, and you will see that project on your dashboard. When it appears on your dashboard, you will see two buttons to join the project or to cancel the invite. If I join the project, I will click here, and now that project appears just like my other projects. You'll notice I cannot delete this project because I am not the owner. But when I go into this project, it's going to appear just like any other project. One last thing to note, if you do not want to be a part of this project anymore, you're invited in error because you can't delete it, you can remove yourself from the project. And to do that, you can just go into collaborators. Here I am, and I can go into collaborator access and remove myself from the project. If I do this, I will no longer have access to the project. It will disappear from my dashboard. Okay, that's the tutorial on creating and modifying projects. In our next set of tutorials, we'll learn how to use all the tools from Cuelist to add annotations to your projects.